Typical.
Good evening and welcome to Success in the City. My name's Helen Webster. I'm with the lovely
Sandra Scott, and I'm delighted our guest who I've wanted for ages is the very inspirational
Michelle Odwyer from Bay Tree Cookery Academy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you for joining us tonight, Michelle, and we will find out loads more about you. But first, we shout out to the kids, any little people who've done amazing things this week. You want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. I'm going to give a shout out to James Walker. So Rachel's little boy, James, he got the Head Teachers Award and he's only 4.
That's pretty good going.
I know. Pretty good, yeah. So, he got the Head Teachers Award and he got a certificate and stuff, so he was made up with himself. So, well done to James.
What about Michelle? Have you got anyone you want to shout out? Any kids?
No, I've got no kids this week, but I have got plenty of shout-outs that I'd like to give, to be fair. There's so many amazing people out there.
Are they for the grown-ups?
At the end?
Yeah.
So we'll do the grown-ups at the end, yeah. San, have you got any little people?
Yes, definitely. And it's one of your little people, but he's not little, but is your friend Ben, who was the very first guest, as we know, we ever had on the show, the young lad.
With Ben.
So it was a couple of years ago now. And hasn't he matured, and he's been doing all his little Instagram football with Ben. All the time there's a match on, he commentates. It's just dead cool. So I was trying so he knows people are listening and watching. Yeah. So football with Ben on Instagram. So well done to him, because he's kept going with that right through his school career. So
that's over 2 years he's been doing that now. Well, it was during COVID, wasn't it? So yeah, it must be 2 years. That's why he came on our show, wasn't it? Yeah. And the difference of him, so because he's 14 now, so the difference between the age of 12 and 14, and he looks like he came on for the World Cup thinking, I was like, look at him, a big grown up.
He looks like a bloke now.
Yeah, he's a big grown up. So yeah, big shout out to Ben. He's 8. Success this week for you personally, something amazing that has happened to you personally. Michelle, do you want to go first?
Well, it wasn't really this week, but I've not had much chance to sort of celebrate it really. I got my Silver Armed Forces Covenant Award the end of last week, which was proper surreal. So I've been working with the military since 2016, and I got my award yesterday. I actually only went for it this year. Everything's a bit of a blur. So I was a bit overwhelmed and just chuffed to bits.
Brilliant. Well done. And we'll find out more about what that entails and what it all is in a little bit. Brilliant. Well done, you. What about you, Sam?
Well, I had something a bit odd happen, which was presented as a negative, but then I laughed and saw it as a real positive. So somebody commented, we're running our first Ukrainian course ever at the moment. We've got 2 first. We've got our first sign language and our first Ukrainian course running at the same time. And someone on the Ukrainian course messaged me and said, this is amazing, I've been able to use it, blah, blah, blah. So I shared that on the language page. Anyway, it got shared in Scotland.
Wow.
My brother saw it on this group in Dundee and he said, but the thing is, Sandra, he said, everyone thinks it's a scam and they're all saying that's ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. And I was annoyed. Then I thought, that's so funny that people think it's impossible for someone to be able to say the basics in another language, be it Ukrainian or whatever, after 3 weeks. And I thought, of course you can. It's 6 hours tuition. If you can't say some basic things after that, you're definitely being failed. So I just thought, I'm winning massively there. So I felt controversial now. So I was happy about that. So our Ukrainian, and this is because they're working with refugees. This is the people from the charity, the Big Help, which is my business's charity this year. So I was just made up about the whole thing. So that's the success. People are slagging me off, find it incredible that people are learning languages.
Well, they're talking about you, they're leaving someone else alone. And no publicity is bad publicity. Jason Pinnington, our lovely Jace, is listening in and he says, even and all, I hope you're all well. So yeah, Jace started this Access Northwest Radio, didn't he? And we were on. So we owe Jason and we're still asking him to come on as a guest, but he's still having none of it. And Danny de Brabander, 3 of my favourite ladies, love this. Hope you are all keeping well. Isn't it funny how we all know everybody?
We all know the same.
Hi, Danny.
It's a village.
Perhaps.
I haven't got my sweatshirt on today neither.
I know. Any more successes, Sam?
Well, I'm sure I don't want to clash with yourself because we had a brilliant day on Friday.
And that was my success.
Okay, well, I won't say any more then.
So Sandra and I went on a road trip to Birmingham, didn't we? We left at
Road trip.
4:15 in the morning. We got back at 7:30. But it was ace, wasn't it? It was ace. Sandra's success was that she didn't spill the protein shake on her top, which was ace this time. And we just howled laughing all the way. We met some amazing people.
Yeah,
and
really
it was for the Aspire Primary School PE and movement, wasn't it? So
yeah, we met some really nice people there who were all about the similar ethos to us, about learning through movement and moving in schools, keeping young people moving. So that was all great.
And my other success was today. I have been and done some training for the first sale of our Lou Interactive Playground, but I can't say anything because I had to sign an NDA.
Ooh.
My second NDA of a year in the year.
Yeah, and they've both been to do with this.
I know.
Because we went to that business with the games testing and we couldn't say a word and we had to look straight on. We weren't allowed to look left or right. That was hilarious.
So this one, I went into the building and my phone signal went and your phone signal stopped. How mad is that? But it was ace and I'm going back again tomorrow morning.
Oh,
fantastic.
Never mind. Let's not go.
But I can't tell you anything.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, so like dead exciting day and another one tomorrow. So Michelle's with us tonight and we're super excited. We're going to give her loads of time because she's done loads and loads of amazing stuff. But first, Michelle, we are going to play this or that. Sandra will ask me and you, I'll ask you and San. San, are you going first? Or am I going first?
Yeah, I'll go first today if that's okay. So, Michelle, living in my profession. Okay. Michelle Rue or Gordon Ramsay?
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm going to say Michelle Rue.
Okay.
Just because I don't like angry chefs. Simple as that.
I like that. I don't like angry teachers of
I don't like angry people. So.
No.
I'm going to agree with you massively because if somebody spoke to me like Gordon Ramsay speaks to somebody, he hasn't been flattened already. I don't know.
I'm sure he has.
I don't know. I just don't know about how people accept being spoken to like that.
You see what Uncle Ron's put?
Yeah, Uncle Ron. So my Uncle Ron's listening in and he says, glad you're on. Better than a second-rate football match between two bum teams.
Oh.
We're rooting for England, Uncle Ron.
I don't follow football. I'm sorry to everybody who's football supporters, but I'm too busy.
I watch every single World Cup game like I always do, and I have a chart and mark it off. I'm a bit of a World Cup nerd.
Fab. You've got that in the office.
Yeah. What about you, Sam? Which chef?
Michelle Rue, hands down. Yeah. Got some of the books, etc. And I love French food anyway, and that. So yeah, 100%.
Okay. You're cooking, Michelle.
What's
your favourite to cook, sweet or savoury?
Savoury. All day. I'm not really a sweet eater. I'll eat them if they're there, but savoury food is my favourite.
Oh wow. What about you, Sam?
Savoury food, but when you cook sweet stuff, people, or even though it's could be easier or whatever, people seem to really appreciate a dessert more, don't they? And they rave about a dessert and remember a dessert and that. So it depends if you want to, you're thinking about your guest or you're thinking what you enjoy personally. Savoury, hands down.
Oh, I'm 100% sweet on anything.
I'm trying to think of a question. I haven't got one. My mind has just gone blank.
Will you just answer?
No, you don't need to. You don't need to. Go on, San, your second one. You're safe. Go on, San.
Let you know you'd have had to do that. Don't worry. Okay. My God. Buffet with paper plates or sit-down meal with china plates? Michelle.
I'm going to go buffet all day. Buffet all day. I just, you know what? I love the fact that it's all there. It's all put out. And it just reminds me, it's very nostalgic of like going to family parties or Christmases or wherever. And you've got your vol au vents, your garlic bread, you know, pineapple and cheese on a stick, all of the, you know, the favourites. Yeah, all quiche. Yeah. For me, I like to pick and mix my food. I don't like food in one place, so I like to graze. So buffet all day.
Brilliant.
Oh,
I'm hungry now.
I'm 100% sit down and be served with. I'm not a buffet lover. What about you, San?
Sit-down meal, definitely. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe it's a chef thing. I don't know. When I used to go and work away in London and everything, we always used to like cook for some amazing things, some of the best, you know, sort of Wimbledon and all of that sort of stuff, and Queen's tennis, and all the chefs used to finish and we'd all end up in Witherspoons eating, and people go, "Don't you eat the same food?" And we were like, "Oh no," just because you get sick of it. You want rubbish.
Yeah. 100%. Okay. Sport or shopping, Sandra?
Shopping? Do you mean playing and shopping? Or what?
No. Like playing, watching. Just if you could only do sport or watch or anything or shop for the rest of your life. That's no, the hairdresser doesn't.
What have you said, Sandra? Shopping?
Shopping, hands down, yeah.
Just Michelle.
Oh no, I hate shopping. I absolutely despise. Just the idea of going around shops, buying clothes is just my idea of hell. I'm definitely sports. I'm more of an outdoorsy sort of person. I go hiking and doing stuff. The idea of going, Sandra, you look a gasp. No, it's just my idea of hell. I once went to Rome on a trip and the person I was with wanted to go shopping and I was like,
oh no, to be fair, no. If you go somewhere like a capital city, Rome, I'm not going to waste it. I might have a little look, and I quite like foodie shops, but no, if I go to a capital city, if I go
foodie shop,
like
yeah.
City, yeah. I'm talking about if we're going into town here.
Yeah.
If we're going into city centre, hands down.
No.
That's why I get
hands down.
I'm in Penhaligons and I'm smelling every fragrance they've got with the lovely assistants helping me.
Okay, you rock on. Go on, San, your last one.
Last one then. Michelle, Whittle or Liverpool?
Oh, that's difficult because I teach on both sides of the water. Okay, well, I'm going to say Liverpool because that's where I live. But I love the Wirral. I'm a Wirral friend.
And we'll come on to this because you do a lot on the Wirral, and that's what I wanted to speak about happening.
I'm going to say Liverpool hands down, although I do love Port Sunlight Village.
Gorgeous, yeah.
I'm going to say Liverpool hands down, but I do love the beaches over the water. And you do that big coastal walk. You've got a sprawler beach, which I quite like.
Okay. My last one, Strictly Come Dancing or I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. So the jungle or the dancing, Michelle.
I don't watch either, I'll be honest. Again, my idea of hell. But I do support a charity shelter and help with their event organising on the night. Hello to Pauline Cox, who works there, and she organises a fantastic Strictly event, and I love seeing it live. And the dancing, everything is just amazing. So I'll go for Strictly, but only for Shelter's charity event.
And Helen, you've met Pauline Cox when I did the singing for Radio City for Beyonce. She was there like that. And we've always kept in touch. And actually, Michelle, I saw you at an event. You were supporting when they did the Strictly a few years ago in the Titanic.
That was it. Was it pre-pandemic? Everything's pre-pandemic, isn't it?
Yeah. Both volunteering there. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, San? Strictly or the jungle?
Strictly, I think it's disgusting when they eat all the slugs and things and the rodents. And then I just think it's mental. I much prefer Strictly.
I love Strictly, like more than anything. but I'd love to go in the jungle.
Oh no, insects, no.
I don't like insects or anything like that, but I'd just love to go. I think it'd be ace.
You like a challenge, Hel?
I do. Okay, we're done for all this and that. San, you can introduce Michelle.
Yes, well, I'm delighted. I'm absolutely over the moon to have you on, Michelle. I've wanted you for ages.
Oh, thank you.
Because I've known of you for several years, and from a long time ago, my ex-sister-in-law, Kath, introduced me to you, and you helped with some cookery lessons and things. So I thought, oh, that sounds nice. Completely unaware of all the voluntary side, all the community work you do, and what your passion is, etc. So I'd like you to tell us your journey. How come you came to Liverpool? Because you don't originate from here.
No.
And what you do here, all about your awards. How come there's a photo of you on the balcony right next to the Queen at the Town Hall? Your latest awards, and most importantly for me as well, what you're doing at Christmas time. In that order, we'll go.
You'll have to remind me. So, first of all,
questions. Okay, fire away.
Well, came over here when I was about 11. My mum met my stepdad, Roy. Hello to the folks if they're watching. I think they've been in the meetings. And we came to Liverpool. It was a bit of a change. We lived in Derby before that. I was actually born in Ireland. I'm actually Irish.
Right.
Hence the O'Dwyer part. But I've lived in England since I was about 2 or 3. Moved to Liverpool, and it was just an amazing, vibrant city. To go from all the changes and all the struggles that Liverpool's had, and still rise above it with a big smile and a welcome, to everybody that comes to our city. You can't help but fall in love with it. So I moved around a bit, and then I bought my house here because there was nowhere else I wanted to be. So you have to keep reminding me of the next question.
Brilliant. How did you get to do what you do now?
Okay, so I've always been a chef. I started training as a chef in North Wales, in Deeside College, and I had quite a lot of learning barriers. And Deeside College was so supportive of me. I was actually dyslexic, but never actually got the support that I needed in education. Went to Deeside College. They gave me a laptop, and it just absolutely opened my world. If anybody's dyslexic, they know the struggles. There wasn't the support for in education at the time when I was in school. I'm 48, so there wasn't anything there. Trained as a chef, did my apprenticeship in America, came back, moved to Liverpool, and I never really wanted to work in the fancy restaurants. I just had a passion for food, and luckily enough, I trained with a Vietnamese chef and a Thai chef at the time, and as well as the other chefs, and I actually worked for free. Came home and just started working around, and I started doing like the odd cookery class, as well as doing. Started with my own business on the Wirral, and had a business there for until 2010, I think, a little in the Lorry Centre. And I had the franchise there for many years. I had some amazing staff who are still seen now, and many community members. So, but that's a little background of my chefing. But I never thought I'd ever go into being a teacher, generally because I had such issues with education. And I was very, very fortunate that I moved the business to Liverpool, and I went to Speak Training Education Centre with Mark Ord, who's like absolutely an unsung hero of our city. And he offered me free teacher training, and I thought, well, if it's free, I'm going to do it. I never say no to free stuff. So trained as a teacher, and I just loved it. And in 2014, I came out, and it's quite personal. I came out of a sort of quite a rocky relationship, and I lost my footing. I lost my confidence. I became very reclusive. I didn't want to leave the house. I had low self-esteem. I piled on the weight, as you do, and I just became lost. I was just going through the motions, and then I thought, this can't go on. Actually, my dog helped me. I'll just mention my dog, Oscar. He's amazing. But I started volunteering. I started volunteering at Christmas 2000, and this is 16, and I just loved it. I loved the people that I met. I loved the community spirit. Started helping out in food banks at North Liverpool Food Bank. And it just took me away from myself. It just sort of gets you out yourself, meeting new people in the community, and who sometimes have shared experience as well of what they're going through. And there's a lot of support out there that I didn't know that was available. From there, Mark asked me he says, well, look, we want to work with people that you're volunteering with, but nobody wants to go back into education. Adult education, which is what I was doing. And so they said, look, we'll fund you to continue doing what you're doing, but we'll pay you to do it. And I was like, hey ho, amazing. So 2017, I started working, freelance, self-employed, working with Speak Training Education Centre, and it took off. Absolutely. We were inundated. People wanted to do the cookery lessons. It was a way of people meeting new people. We worked with drug and alcohol rehab, mental health, ex-offenders, domestic violence, military veterans, people across every walk of life. You couldn't, and you bring them all together. It's like a big pot. You chuck them all in, you do some cooking, you sit round a table and you put the will to rights while you're cooking. And it grew and grew and grew. And I'm always in the community. When I'm not doing this, I still volunteer now. And I got so much support that it grew that much that I thought, I've got to do more. The more I was with people, I felt like there was an injustice. There's not enough done. There's not enough support out there. And I became really sort of frustrated. So Mark came up with the idea of me starting my first CIC. So it's Bay Tree Cookery Academy CIC. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. So all those people out there that want to, open a community interest company, and you don't have a clue, just research it, speak to other community members, and really do your homework. And I was really, really fortunate because I had all these community organisations who supported me. And that's where I was up to now. So that's how Bay Tree Cookery Academy was created.
And where are you based?
All over, literally all over Merseyside, and obviously I work on the Wirral. I go to St Helens. The important is that a lot of people can't travel, maybe due to finances, maybe due to the caring for somebody, maybe they've got kids. There is many reasons. So it's really important for me to be mobile and be able to do the outreach work that I do.
So you take the lessons and the sessions to them.
Yeah,
And Michelle, I know when I've sort of followed your page and things you've been doing over the years, you've worked with all walks of life, haven't you? And helped all different types of people, from people who've come out of prison and young people, all different groups, really.
Yeah.
Which one would you say is the most rewarding to teach how to cook?
Oh, that's a tough one. Do you know what? Every day, and this sounds so cheesy, but I wish people could see what I see every day, and the people that I work with, because I work with Options for Supported Living. So any of my students out there, they are adults with different degrees of disabilities. They have absolutely enriched my life beyond measure. They're very bossy. They tell me what to do all the time. I've been teaching them since, I think it was like 2018 to late 2018. And they very fortunate that they contract me now to come and teach. They've surpassed me. I have trouble keeping up with them. I have 12 students with their support workers. So there's 24 people in a classroom, and it's absolute chaos, and it's amazing. My military veterans, who I adore, and their families, they have been so supportive. I mean, I can't pick one because it's so difficult, because the military veterans helped me Christmas Day. We've gone out and done gleaning. We've renovated community farms. We've done litter picking. We've cooked for other people. They always help me every Christmas. Every organisation, I feel like I'm really, really lucky, because they embrace my ethos. They embrace what I want. And I can't thank them enough. So I can't pick an organisation, because they're all just phenomenal. I tell you what, I've got one story of that was you get quite emotional, because there's lots of different things every day. But I think it was the summer holidays this year. I work with kids, and I work with an organisation at the Joseph Lappin Centre called Deaf Active. And these are youngsters with various degrees of they're deaf or hard of hearing. And anyway, we were making pizza and bread, and it's, you know, it's brilliant. We were making the pizzas. Anyway, when they left the classroom, I go to clean the table, and they wrote in flour, "Thank you."
I was not lovely. Oh, and that's really fits in with what we're doing at the moment, because we're doing our first sign language course. Helen's teaching it for me because I don't sign, but I'm learning to sign, so it's nice for me. And we've got a gorgeous girl on the course, Lamar, and she's also a chef. She's wanting to teach deaf children because she says they're really marginalised as a group.
Yeah.
They don't get to access things that other people get, you know. So, and I think we talk about everyone learning sign language when they're young and the difference it'd make. And I remember reading that post when you did that, actually. So I think that's wonderful, isn't it? There's just different groups of people as well.
Yeah.
So I want to know, how come you were on the town hall balcony next to HRH? What happened next?
I'll have to mention my parents, because every time I do a radio show or anything, and they go, "You always bring up your dog, but you never mention us." So my mum and dad, Ros and Roy Gladden. My mum was Lord Mayor 2016 to 2017. And as I said, so I was going through a bit of a downtime, and my mum said to me, as I say, I lost my confidence, become a recluse. Yeah. And my mum says to me, "You know what, Shell, you should be the mayoress. You won't have to do anything. Just turn up, just go to parties." Absolute lies. She completely lied. She threw me in at the deep end, like, you know, there was no life jacket, there was nothing. And it was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Yeah. And so, yeah, I was the mayoress. My dad was the consort, but because we are all quite busy, so if my dad couldn't do it, I would jump in and support mum. On the day of the Queen and Phil coming, I wasn't actually supposed. I don't know whether I was supposed to be on the balcony. There should have been somebody from the council there, I think, but they couldn't make it. So as I goes into the town hall in my flip flops and my backpack, I had my dress in the back, in my backpack, and Ian from the town hall says, "Oh, come on, Shell, you're going to have to take over now. You're going to have to look after Prince Philip." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. No." And they go, "You'll have to. Yeah. And do you know what? They were absolutely gorgeous. And anyway, as it was, we're going up to the balcony, and it was supposed to be me on the end, me dad, and me mum. But then we got it mixed up, so I ended up in the mid. I can do it now, you know, when you're cringing. So I'm going out, and I can hear, like, because I think the outside London, I think the Queen has visited Liverpool more than any other city. Yes. I don't know. I'm sure that's right. So she requested to come to Liverpool. So, you know, because of the fantastic Liverpool warm welcome that she gets. So as we're walking up to the balcony, I can hear this roar. Yeah. And also, I was really suffering with body dysmorphia at the time. So the idea of being in front of, but my mum knows this, and not many people would know this about me, but I had real issues at that particular time. So to be thrust into the limelight, to go on a balcony in front of, I don't know how many thousands of people there, and you know, it was just, and then I'm just looking. There's a picture of me, mum, and the Queen, and I'm looking at my mum like going, "What's going on here?" And I'm like doing the wave, and my friend Phil was actually, he's a photographer, and he was like, "Oh my God," he was out there, and he was like, "I'm sure that's Michelle," and he took the picture of mum, mom, and me. So that's how I ended up. I actually had lunch with Prince Philip, and he was lovely.
Amazing. Did they just put you at ease? Because most people who've met them said that they just put you at ease.
Do you know what? Yeah, and my mum was with the Queen, and he just reminded me of my grandma and granddad. You know, that generation. And I sat next to Prince Philip, and I just thought, do you know what? I'm just going to be myself. So we talked about, as soon as they come round with the fizz, and he says, "Oh no, I'll have none of that. I'll have a beer." And I thought, me and you were going to get on. So me and him had a beer. And we talked about barbecues, and I was boxing at the time. So that's what we talked about. And he was, and he told me about the time that he went to Australia, learned how to do a barbecue, and then came back and cooked barbecue for his friends. And he said he cooked for 20 people.
Oh,
proper nice guy, really good. I mean, I'm sure everybody's got their opinions, but you know what? He was a perfect gentleman, and they were both absolutely super cute.
Oh, brilliant. I didn't know if they'd visited more times than any others outside of London, so that's really good. Peter Lloyd said, evening, ladies. Welcome to the show, Michelle. I can't share
thank you.
for some reason.
You can't share it. I don't know if I can. Oh, I can. Look, there you go. Can I? There you go. Look, we're slick here, aren't we? So I feel like I've met you lots of places, but I don't know where.
I know, I've just got one of those faces, I think. It's just
What
like...
school did you go to? What was your senior school?
I went to Holly Lodge, which was a girls' school, which wasn't great for me because I am a bit of a tomboy. And then I went to St. Margaret's in Egbert, which was amazing. I loved St. Margaret's. It really was quite transformational. You know, they were dead supportive with my educational barriers.
Yeah, because we noticed that you and I are the same age, and I was thinking, is it from school or anything like that? But
I don't know. Did you used to go the buzz?
I did used to go the buzz. I did.
That's probably what it was. Buzz on a Thursday night.
Probably. But I think as well. So you move in the circles of cookery and food and things like that. And I do the fitness side of so I think maybe the CIC things. Are you part of the School of Social Entrepreneurs? Have you been to any of those?
No, I don't really. Do you know what? I'm terrible. I never network, and I don't go to. The only time I network is if I've got a glass of fizz in my hand. I just I don't really go to networks. I remember years ago there used to be all the rage, and I'm not very good at sitting still, so it's my idea of hell.
All right, we're your mates, don't worry. Helen, you met Michelle. I introduced Michelle to you when we went to that dinner over the water, that fundraiser in Oxford.
Which one was that?
We did. Okay. I now know where. Yeah. It was Owen Drew's.
That was it. Yes. Oh, bless him.
I do remember. Yeah. Peter Lloyd went to St. Margaret's because he's put same school, but I think he's younger than us.
Oh, hello, Peter.
That's younger than me, so there we go. Yeah. So, Michelle, I want you to tell everyone about what you're doing this Christmas. And you've done it before, haven't you?
Yeah. Again, Christmas is... I struggled with Christmas a few years ago when I was going through that difficult period. And I've got a mum and dad and friends and what have you, but I still struggled. And I thought, well, if I'm struggling and I find it quite challenging, how must it be for, other people who haven't got that support? And again, I volunteered that Christmas, and it was just changed my life, really. And so every year I work Christmas Day, I think every year but 1 year. So 2019, we had about 170 on the Wirral. So I bring minibuses of Liverpool to the Wirral, and we prepared Lord Derby and staff. They cook the turkey for me. We get donations, supermarkets give us food, and we have a really good community Christmas. It's about bringing people together and having fun. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, you're just going to come in and you're just going to have a ball and get fed lots of food, because I'm a feeder. During the pandemic, we did deliver, so we cooked dinners and we delivered them. And then last year we had another Christmas, which was amazing, and we brought people together, because especially since the pandemic, I feel it's really, really more important now to celebrate Christmas, because I think we came out of the pandemic and we thought everything was going to be rosy. And obviously, it's all gone a bit Pete Tong, and people are struggling. The pressure is not eased. It's moved from the pandemic to, living, without worrying about heating and bills and finances. And, if Christmas is not the time to support each other, then I don't know. We should be doing it all year round, and many, many people are. But I just feel I couldn't, in all good conscience, sit back with a roof over my head and my heating on Christmas Day. And I just felt like I had to do something.
So where is it being held this year?
So I'm taking over Vauxhall Neighbourhood Council. Whether they like it or not. And because of the amount of people that I support or we support, it's and I'm working with North Liverpool Network, St Andrews Network, Tracy there, and everybody there are really, because she rang me and she was like, what are you doing this Christmas? And I said, I was just going to call you. I'm going to do Christmas Day. She's like, oh, I want to do Christmas Day. The issue was obviously finding somewhere big enough. And then Equilibrium Northwest, they're based on the Wirral, and Options for Supportive Living. So again, we're bringing all these organisations together, One Vision Housing, they've supporting it, so we've got quite a few of their residents coming. We've got Danny Brabanda, he's donated. Thank you, Danny. He was one of the very first people. Julie Lawson, she's supporting it. I'm very, very blessed that people are just getting on board. And do you know what? Last night I got a text message from Miss Farishta, who is part of a mosque in Anfield, if I'm correct. Yeah. And we've followed each other on social media. And what was lovely about this mosque as well is that they actually collected for me during the pandemic so we could deliver food to the community, which was phenomenal. And she messaged me last night and she was like, Shell, loving what you're doing. Let me know what I can do to help. Brilliant. Me and the mosque will come and, we'll support you. And I was like, do you know what? I was choked up, absolutely choked up. So thank you, Miss Farishta. You're a legend.
How does Christmas Day look then?
Busy. So the 20th, it is like a military operation. A lot of people, the best compliment I get is people go, are you ex-military? Thank you, I say, because I'm not, but thank you. It is down so I've got Tom Harrison House. I'll give them a shout out on Veterans HQ. They are coming to do a lot of the food preparation for me. So I'll be there on the 23rd. We're setting up. We've got a lovely hotelier. He doesn't even want any recognition. He's paying for the crockery, the cutlery, the tablecloths. He said to me, what's your wish? I said, I want to transform this place. I want it to look like a hotel. He says, right, give me a list. And I thought he's going to tell me where to go here, but I gave him a massive list and he's got it all. So on the 23rd, we're at Vauxhall Neighbourhood Council. We're going to be having Christmas music. I'm going to make some turkey butties and some veggie butties or vegan butties for our vegan friends. And we're all going to be decorating the room, getting it all ready. I'm going to be prepping the veg with my military friends. So that's going to be a lot of peeling and of sprouts and everything. I'm going to be cooking all day. 24th, I'm hoping I'm going to be sleeping. 25th, I'll probably go into Vauxhall. I'll probably get there about 7 in the morning on Christmas Day. I like a couple of hours of peace and quiet before the mayhem starts. Yeah. So on Christmas Day, it starts at 10 o'clock for anybody that wants to come. It's on the Facebook page, so I'll send it to you guys if that's okay. The link, and if anybody,
and then we'll
you can't, you can't book direct, but there's lots of organisations that I'll send the list where you can book on with them. We haven't got transport at the moment, but we're trying to organise it so people can come along. So starts at 10 o'clock. Mm-hmm. I've got the amazing Sway with Ray. I don't know whether you know Sway with Ray.
I do know Sway with Ray.
Yeah, Sway with Ray has supported me for about 3 years. Every Christmas he's out. He's done Santa. He's done a lot. He's got everybody singing and dancing. So he's there in the morning. I've got Kate Riley James. You know Kate. She's going to do some interactive kids playbooks for me, and we've got a kids area. I've got the Jive Teddy, and he's coming to do some singing, and we're going to have carols. It's like a massive family Christmas that is, it's just chaos, but it's amazing. And then 12 o'clock, we've got lunch. I'm doing obviously turkey, veggie turkey. I'll have halal if we have any halal friends. We're doing a thing so I know everybody's dietary requirements. So there's going to be everything and all the trimmings and takeaway tubs because I always make too much food. Oh, then we're going to have Christmas pudding, mince pies, singing, and we're collecting presents. So if anybody can donate any presents, you don't need to wrap them. We've got the St. Andrew's Network are collecting presents for me as well. And then we finish at 2. I'm hoping to be out of there by 3. And I'm going to be at home with a G&T hopefully about 3:30.
Amazing.
So this is what I want. There'll be people watching and go, how can we help? What can we do?
Well, on the Facebook page, we've got a GoFundMe, which is amazing.
We'll share that.
You can volunteer. Yeah. You can donate a present. You can donate a packet. So also St. Andrew's Network, they're collecting food for us because what we'd like to do is maybe give out little food parcels for everybody, little goodie packs.
Yeah.
For like Boxing Day when you want to sit there and you want to put your TV on and just eat chocolates and crisps and nuts and mince pies and really just, so we want to be able to give out little gift packs to everybody. So that St. Andrew's Community Network, they're actually collecting that. If you are a business you could do a collection for us of presents or food, or obviously all dried food, or you can donate to the GoFundMe page, or you can come and volunteer, and you can come and say hello to people and make them feel at home.
Oh, amazing. And I'm sure that there'll be lots of people who want to get involved. So we'll share the links on all of our things and the little wish list of, stuff that you really need.
It's been absolutely mind-blowing how supportive people have been. It's really humbling and amazing that people are just getting on board and, supporting our communities. And that's what it's about. It's like bringing people together. And as I say, it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. It's all about coming together at this time of year, and hopefully we'll make some new connections that we can forge and take into 2023.
Definitely. And I think it's so important, isn't it, that everybody's working. Sorry, Sand. Everyone's working together, aren't they?
Yeah.
And, coming. And I think most people that you speak to, there's lots and lots of people who we've spoken to who are, looking at Christmas dinners for people and food packages and hampers and presents and gifts and things like that. Because I think, as you say, we need to support everybody all year round.
Yeah.
But it sort of brings it home a little bit more at Christmas, doesn't it?
And we have so many people on here doing great stuff, and there is a lot going on at the moment. But as Helen says, it is really important because Christmas time highlights differences, doesn't it? And just an act of kindness, maybe someone's dreading Christmas or something like that. Just an act of kindness or being part of something in a community or a group can really make people have a lift and feel amazing. And as you've said, if they've got something to take home and have the next day from the event they've been to, how good's that as well?
Just a little story of when in 2014, obviously I was going through this terrible time. I'd bought this house. I'd never had a house before, and begged, borrowed, whatever to get this house. And I had no money, nothing in the house. I was absolutely rock bottom. And Christmas was coming up, and this is the Christmas I started. No, I didn't volunteer that Christmas. And I was freelancing. I was working for myself, and I was freelancing at Everton Football Club. And I was going through a really, really difficult time, as I said. And there was a chef there called Simon. And I must have been talking. And I didn't even have any Christmas decorations or anything. So I had my house and everything was secondhand, but it was mine, And I didn't mind not having decorations. I had a roof over my head. But Simon must have heard this. And he actually cared for his adult son who had quite severe learning difficulties. And he heard that I didn't have any Christmas decorations or anything. Anyway, one day he goes in, coming up to Christmas, and he says, I hope you don't mind, I've bought you a Christmas gift. And it was a Christmas tree candelabra decoration. Yeah. And I just couldn't believe it. He didn't have a lot of money himself, but yet he went out and got this for me. And you know what? That act of kindness
Michelle,
meant the world to me.
People are so kind, aren't they? And I was in a similar situation to yourself where I had nothing and everything secondhand around me and all the rest of it, I rent. But the kindness of people literally just carried me. That people were so kind to me. Yeah. I remember saying at this meeting, someone said, did you watch so-and-so? And I said, oh no, I haven't got a telly at the moment. And I had 3 tellies in the house on Sunday. The conversation was Friday. Sunday. Tellies in my house, and I was just like, people are just so kind and decent, especially locally. People are really caring. And we just see this week after week after week. A lot of people in business are really kind, and they haven't got loads of money and stuff, but they'll help. They can, there's so many great charities locally doing good stuff. If people feel they're in a situation where they're going to be on their own or isolated, just message us, because we'll be able to put you in touch with one of the many organisations who are doing great things both sides of the river. Absolutely.
And it's not all about money, is it? We were talking about, you can volunteer your time, or
exactly.
You might be able to drive somebody. If you have a car or something, you might be able to pick somebody up.
Yeah, I mean, we have got a lot of people. I had a message tonight from a lovely lady, and her and her partner are actually struggling at the moment and want to come Christmas Day, but they live in Speak. So, I just got on the old internet and just messaged a few people. So hopefully I've sorted that. But we are going to need people to do transport. again, it's great having lots of community. You know, one thing about the pandemic, a positive was like, you know, all the community organizations coming together, and that's still continuing now, where everybody's just, you know, helping each other, supporting each other. And, you know, we can only move forward if we work together.
Yeah, 100%. We always say that, don't we? You know, together you can reach so many people. And, you know, somebody might just be able to comes on the Christmas day, as an amazing Christmas day, goes home and they pay, you know, that act of kindness forward, don't they? You know,
yeah,
and
exactly. And one of the things is when you received an act of kindness and, you know, it makes a difference to your life, it just makes it, you want to help other people yourself.
Yeah.
You know? And it's massive. It's just a great thing to do. You're just doing all the time, constantly. You're doing wonderful things locally, and it shows the power. And I think it's quite good of you to speak about you had a bad time in your life that you've only spoken about. And look what you've done now, and how you've turned your life around, and how you're helping so many other people.
I think it's just that you know, it's just that mantra of you know, pay it forward. And I just don't forget the acts of kindness, and the fact that I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't have the house, you know, a roof over my head, I wouldn't have my stinky bulldog. You know, I feel blessed, and, you know, the amount of community support that I've had has been phenomenal. I mean, pre-pandemic, I didn't really know I was a social value company at all. I was just doing what I was doing. And a really good friend of mine said, actually, Shell, you know what, you're doing social value. You know, you should be moving this forward. I'm like, really, there's a value to this. And I just was getting up every day, doing a job that I love, meeting amazing people. And I was really going forward. We're actually expanding next year. So the CIC is growing again.
Amazing. What are you doing?
Well, thanks to support, obviously, I've got a bigger shout out to the Kindred and Blast networks. They've been really, really supportive, and they've sort of guided me along the way. And it's been a bumpy road because obviously the pandemic hit. So we were going to launch the academy. We were looking for a base of operations. And then everything went wrong. And so, next year we're hoping to have a base of operations. We'll still be going mobile, and we'll still be working, you know, remotely. But we've got to the stage now where we need a home. So we're just trying to find a base. But the thing is, because of we need a really, really big kitchen, because obviously I work with diverse people. I work with people with different needs. So they've got to have the room to move around. So it's a big ask. But Kindred have been really, really supportive, and I've been like sort of dead patient, because I just don't want anywhere. It's, you know, when you find the perfect place, and maybe it's a big ask. So next year we're going to be moving up, getting our own place, running cookery schools, working with our military veterans. So I'm going to be bringing my events company into the charity, and we're going to be moving that forward, working with our military veterans, and just onwards and upwards.
Definitely. So how did you get the military award then?
I didn't know you could get it, because I just thought you had to be part of the armed forces. So I was been working with the military since 2016, 17, and as I say, we go gleaning, we go litter picking. We've helped at Wirral Festival. You know, literally, I pick up the phone and I'm like, "Do you want to come and do this?" I said it was dead good, and they're like, "We're standing in a field, soaking wet, digging holes or whatever," and they must be like, "This is rubbish," but they still come along. I work with the families. We do a lot of cooking. It's like sort of food therapy. They're just amazing. So then the actual armed forces contacted me, and they're like, "Why have you never been for your award?" And I'm like, "Because I'm not military." And they were like, "No, you can." So it's an employment recognition scheme. So if you're an employer out there and you want to do what I'm doing, it's possible, you know. And it's a great way of it's like the armed forces family. I got dead emotional. I don't really do awards. I don't go for awards. I don't really go to awards because I don't like to sit still for that long. And it was at the cathedral, so it was very, very overwhelming. It meant so much to me because it's such an honour. My dad, who was originally from Jamaica, he was a Royal Green Jacket. My dad, Roy, is ex-military. My granddad, who told me many a tale, he was in the Navy, and he did the Russian convoy. And I just feel like it's a legacy. I feel like it's a privilege to support, and there's not enough done for our veterans in this country. And I thought there was a lot. So it's obviously been an educational experience for me, but they've been so supportive. And I love the fact that loads of my military friends, they're all messaging me saying congratulations, and they were proper chuffed. But I wouldn't have got that award without them. So the award's for them, not just me.
Yeah. It's for everybody, isn't it? Which is amazing. Brilliant. I love it. Well, I think we could speak to you forever, Michelle, because I think
sorry, I know. Sorry, I've talked too much.
No, you haven't. No, I think we could have another show. I think we could have another show finding everything else about you. But we do have a little.
Well, you're welcome to come if you want to come on the 23rd. Come and join the craziness, or if you want to come back, come decorated. You guys are welcome if you want to come for your dinner. Wear stretchy pants because I'm a feeder.
Yeah. And the best Christmas day that we had was when I had the pub in Birmingham, and we had a big, massive Christmas dinner. Well, massive, not for you guys, but we had like 40 people in, who otherwise would have been on their own. Some of them were students who didn't go back home, and they were staying and they were working and stuff. And it was hilarious. We just had an absolute ball. We just had an amazing time, and everybody. It was just like really festive, and yeah. So I worked in hospitality, and I used to love working Christmas Day. It was one of my favourite days. So I think we will get Michelle back, I think, after Christmas, and then she can give us an update of everything. We're going to share everything on socials and everything like that, all about how to get involved and stuff. And if anybody wants to speak to Sandra and I, and we'll put you in touch then with Michelle or one of the So we do have a format, red face, something slightly embarrassing that's happened people can laugh along with, not at you. Do you have one, Sam?
Yeah, of course. So Helen goes, I didn't spill protein shake on myself because last time we went on our road trip, the last one, we had all our branding on for Helen's got it on IP Presents, and we're going down the motorway. And we stopped at the services, and she goes, I've made got a bit of feedback here. And she says, I've made the thing for you. And it went all over my comfort.
Oh.
So that was last time. So get careful. I've just had my clothes through the wash, all the rest of it. And when I looked at my jumper, there was all the big marks at the bottom of it. I thought, I've done it again. It's like I can't turn up, so I'm just going to bring my clothes separately next time. And get there.
I don't know where that came from, though.
Which?
Your mucky jumper thing at the bottom, I don't know.
That was ridiculous. I put it through the wash again, and it's fine now. So I have no idea what happened there. That was just hilarious. There we go. So
I'm going to go next. So Monday we were teaching BSL, and we were doing our sign language course, and then we stop and we get up and we walk around and we teach and everything. And I went to the toilet, and then I was drying my hands, and I was fuming because the machine wasn't working, and I kept putting my hands underneath, and I was fuming, and it was the paper towel one.
Oh.
It wasn't even the dryer. Yeah. And it wasn't even the right machine. But no,
that's so funny.
What about you, Michelle?
Okay, I have a thing of going out the house with clothes inside out. But on this occasion, 2019, I was going for an interview with BBC Radio Merseyside as a new host. And anyway, I was going to the gym. So someone said, they're interviewing, go down. And I was like, I don't want to be on the radio. They could just go. So I was going to the gym. So I just threw my leggings on and my Wonder Woman t-shirt, as you do. And I goes, and there was all, and I have to say, I guess to BBC Radio, and there was loads of lovies there. And I thought, here's me. I look like a kidder. And they're all rehearsing. Anyway, he goes, I don't know whether we can see you or not. Have you put your name down? I says, no. Just come along. And he went, just take a seat. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking down at my leggings and I'm like, oh my, and the place is packed as well with people going for this interview thing. And I feels down the back of my bum and the tag's hanging out like a rabbit tail. And they're inside out on a cigars. And I'd walked through town as well with the ticket hanging out the back of my bottom. And then, so I had to stand up and discreetly shuffle against the wall to go to the toilet. To still change my pants, and so I'm not really embarrassed because I do it all the time, and you just got to laugh about it, haven't you?
That's like
it's one of the things that I do.
Oh, that was like me with the interpreting one that time in the hospital, where I picked up a jumper and I was like, oh, and they had jumpers just on the hanger in Asda, plain black jumpers, £2, and I thought that'll do me for work. Picked it up, threw it in the trolley like this. They were in a private room. I was interpreting in that, and I'm chatting to the family, etc. They just talking to them, and there's a little dot and a nurse, but a male nurse, a Filipino nurse, came and he said, "Excuse me," and I went, "Yeah." He goes, "You're back," and I went, "What? Sorry." He goes, "Can I?" And I went, "Yeah." There was a giant A4 size sticker like that with £2 written on in the hospital, and he went, "The other nurses were too embarrassed to tell you, but I thought."
Oh, kind man.
Yeah, similar. Yeah.
Brilliant, Sandra. We are kindred spirits.
Definitely.
My Uncle Ron says another great star guest.
We only know the
Oh, thank you, Uncle Ron.
We do only know the best people. Shout out to the grown-ups, any grown-ups who've done amazing things. I'm going to do a quick shout out first to Strawberry Fields. So Leslie's been a guest on our show, and Strawberry Fields had their carol concert on Sunday. And the Steps to Work program that they do, all the people had volunteered. And it was dead Christmassy, and they had a brass band. And again, all volunteers. The Sign Choir, Liverpool Sign Choir were there. The Salvation Army choir from Sale came up, and it was just a lovely, lovely event, just something really lovely. So big shout out to everybody who was involved in helping out to make that happen, because they have lots of volunteers and kind, cool people as well, and they do amazing things. So big shout out to everybody from Strawberry Fields. What about you, Sam?
Yeah, well, shout out to John Bullock, who was our former guest, who hopefully is coming on again because he's published his book, which looks amazing. Everyone at Autism Emotion who did their fair. I know we're not political, but Ian Byrne MP, getting involved with Grow West Derby, what they're doing, all fresh. You like this, Michelle, all fresh grown fruit given out, which is lovely. And Bernie Hollywood getting ready. Another person.
He's going on the 10th. He's our big shout out next week because he's rowing, isn't he?
Very exciting. Yeah, so loads there. What about you, Michelle?
Do you know what? I haven't got one, but I've got a few, because as I'm bobbing around in my day to day, there are so many unsung organisations that are doing amazing work, and they're too busy to put it on the social media because they're busy working in the community. Woodlands Community Centre, Netherley Youth and Community, the B-Neck. There's probably options for supported living. There's millions of just people working every day, and they're just working so hard to make the world a better place. And they never get a shout out. So I'm shouting out to all those organisations that just don't get a shout out and are too busy to just do the stuff on the social media. I see what they're doing, and it's phenomenal.
Brilliant. Amazing. Do you have a positive challenge? Is there a little something that you can challenge people to do this week? Have you got on?
I've got something I started doing during the pandemic, and this is really bizarre, but saying hello to strangers or saying, how you doing? So when I used to go to Croxteth Park, and obviously we were all socially distanced and stuff, and I thought I live on my own. So I was like, oh my goodness. So it's me and my dog, just talking to him all the time. And even my dog was getting sick of me. So I used to say hello to people, because you don't know their circumstances. They may live on their own. They may go home. Your hello might make their day. So my challenge is to people to say hello, just a greeting, because you don't know, that might make somebody's day.
Definitely. You might be the only person that they speak to.
Yeah. Or they might go, what the is going on here? Do one, you weirdo. But I didn't care. I'm still doing it now. And it's 2 years later, and I'm still saying hello. And you never know, you might make a new friend.
Brilliant. Amazing. I'm going to say a massive, massive thank you to Michelle. I think, her story is super inspirational. And as she says, she's just getting up and rocking around doing the thing that she loves to do. But the social impact and the impact that you're doing for people's lives is amazing. And I think from what, you felt to then go and give even more is amazing. We will share everything so that people can get in touch and people can get involved.
Thank you so much.
Sandra, pleasure as always. And we're going to let Michelle close the show with her positive mantra or something that she lives by every day.
Well, thanks guys for having me on. I just 100% appreciate this and the opportunity to share my story and Christmas Day. But my positive mantra, and it's something that I absolutely live by, is paying it forward. If you've had a kindness, repay that kindness and give it out to the world and help other people. It's phenomenal, and it does change your life. So pay it forward, people. Any shape, any form. It doesn't have to be money. It can be a hello, or it can be an act of kindness.
Fabulous.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and we will see everybody next week.